Hi guys, we're going to go through the first guided project, which is in the Common Features module. For this first project, I'm going to go through all the steps from just getting into eCampus, or once you're in eCampus, getting into my IT lab and finding the project, downloading the information, and then getting started. I am not going to do this for every project. Once you get into it, you should know how to do it from here on out. But I will, for this first time, go from start to finish so that you can see what we're doing. Okay, so here we are in eCampus. We're on our home page. We have our news item. Please make sure that you've gone over and you have looked at the orientation module and that you have done the syllabus quiz. This is very important that you do that syllabus quiz. Assuming all that is done, you're going to link up with Pearson following the instructions that are in that orientation module. So again, go to that orientation module, follow the directions in there to link up eCampus with my IT lab and get your accounts and all that type of good stuff. And then we're going to go forward. So once you're in eCampus, you're ready to do your projects, you're going to click on this Pearson, this My Lab and Mastering links here. Once you do that, this window is going to pop up and you're going to have My IT Lab Course Contents and Course Home. You can really go to either one of them. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go to Course Content and it's going to open yet another window. And because you have already linked up with My IT Lab, it's automatically going to take you into My Course and get you started. Okay, so there's a couple of ways here that you can look and see what is going on. So first, everything is broken down into weeks. Just like in eCampus, it corresponds one-to-one between eCampus modules and with the My IT Lab directories. So for week 1 here, you're going to drill down into week 1, and you've got your introduction module, and then in here you have your common features module. And in here, you can see everything that you have to do. These videos are also in eCampus. These PowerPoint presentations are also in eCampus. You can look at them if you want to. You don't have to. Okay, so you have the review assignment, the guided project, the individual project, and the in-class quiz. As you can see, I've already gone through and been testing these. So you can see what your scores are here. If you haven't submitted it or done it, you're going to get these dashes. So let's go into the guided project. What you're going to do is you're going to click on guided project and it's going to open up this extra window. If this window does not pop up, like if you see a flash and then your My IT Lab window comes back up, minimize your windows. You're going to find this in the background behind your other browsers. Don't keep clicking it because it's just going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so from here, you've got 3 options. First thing you're going to do is you're going to download your materials. So if you click on download materials, it's going to show you the files that you need. You can download them each individually. So if you already have the instructions, you can download only the file that you need, or you can download all files and it will download it everything as one file in a zip file. If you download a zip file, be sure to extract that zip file before you do anything else. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to save your information. I'm going to go ahead and do that to kind of show you the process in which to do it. So I'm going to click Download Files, and this is going to go into my Downloads folder. So I'm going to just click on that and say Show in Folder. Now I'm in Chrome. Some of y'all may be in Internet Explorer or Firefox or something like that. Be sure to just go wherever your downloads are. So here's my zip file, and I'm actually going to move this to my documents. Where am I going to move it? Actually, I'm going to move it into here. Just create another directory and go back to my downloads here. And I need to find that file because I've got a gazillion downloads here. Here's the file, and I'm going to move it to here so that I know where to find it and I don't have to go searching for it. Okay, so I've got it in this directory. I'm going to right click on the zip file. Now you know it's a zip file because it's got this little file folder with a zipper on it. It also shows you the type if you have that on your, if you have your File Explorer in this mode, it's going to tell you here that it's a compressed zip folder. Okay, I also have my extensions turned on, which means it shows me it's a .zip file. If you want to know how to do any of this type of stuff, let me know. I can kind of walk you through how to do it. I'm going to right click on this, and I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to say extract all. And from here it's going to extract it into a directory inside of this video directory. So you really don't need to change anything here, just say extract. And then once it's done, mine sets up to open up a new window. But now you have a directory with the same name as what that zip file was, only it doesn't have that zip. Now the reason why I say to do this, if you double click on that zip file, you're going to see the files. And this kind of makes you think, oh, okay, I can open this from here and then I can save it and work with it. You can't do that. You can save it, but you have to save it somewhere else. You cannot save it in this location because it's actually a file and you're just looking into it. That's why you must extract it into its own directory. So I put it in my own directory, and now this first one, so you got two files. Your instructions are always going to be a Word document, and then whatever file for these common features, some of them are going to be PowerPoint, some of them are going to be Word, some of them are going to be Excel. This one happens to be Excel. So I'm going to open up, this is my starting file, and I'm going to, that's the file I'm going to start with. Yours is going to have your last name right here where it says student. Make sure that that is the file that you are starting with. You will always have a file that has your last name in it, and that should always be the file that you start with. So I'm going to double click on that, and it's going to open up in Excel for me. And now we're ready to get started. So here it says it's in protected view. Please be careful. Make sure that you enable editing. If you don't enable editing, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. So enable editing. And let's get started. We're going to, step one is always opening the file and renaming it. Because these are all online and it's giving you a file with your last name already, you do not need to rename the file. You can, but you don't have to. It's easier if you don't. You just leave it as your last name, underscore, and the rest of the file name, and it'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so step two is preview the worksheet as it will appear when it's printed. The easiest way to do this is if you go to the Page Layout tab. Here's your page setup where you can set margins and orientations and all that type of good stuff. I'm going to click this down arrow right here. It brings up this page setup, and here you've got an option for print preview. So I'm going to click print preview, and it comes like this. Now, that's one way of doing it. I'm going to exit out of that, and I'm going to do the other way of doing it. You're here at the Home tab. If you hit the File tab and you come down here to print, you get the same file, or you get the same view. Okay, so it says to change the orientation of the worksheet to landscape. So I'm going to come here, instead of portrait orientation, I'm going to say landscape orientation. Once you've done that, you just close the preview, and you do that by hitting this back arrow. And if you look here at your page layout, it should be set to landscape now. Okay, step three is to click the cell to the right of the name. So here's name, that's in cell C3, or yeah, cell C3 has the name. You want to click in D3 right here, because you're going to type the person's name. And you're going to type Elizabeth Jane. Now, it is very important in all of our projects that you type it as it tells you to type it. If it's capital, type it capital. If it's lowercase, type it lowercase. If it tells you to include a period, include a period. If it tells you not to, don't. If it has it all one word, keep it all one word. The grader, because it's all done, it's all computerized grading, it looks for those things specifically, and it can't determine options. It's oh, I meant to put a space there, it's okay. It's not going to do that. It's explicit. So make sure that you type it the same. Okay. Then in change the font of the text. So step 4, change the font of the text in cell C1. So here's C1 is right here where it says blood pressure tracker. And we are going to change the font. So that's on our home tab. And we'll go through all the specifics of what tabs these things are on when we get into Excel, into the actual Excel modules. So we're going to click this down arrow right here, and we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom because it's alphabetical. And we're going to choose Verdana. Okay, so I chose that. And then I'm going to change the font size to 20. So I'm going to click this font size here, and I'm going to say 20. And for some reason, my computer is not updating properly. It's kind of locked up. I think it's angry with me. Okay, my computer decided to work again. So here we've got, now it's Verdana, and it's a size 20. Okay, then we're going to add the spelling and grammar feature to the quick access toolbar. So your quick access toolbar is up here. I already have my spelling right there, but if you don't, you're going to hit your down arrow here, and you're going to make sure that spelling is checked. Okay, then we're going to check the spelling for the worksheet and correct any errors. So I'm going to click the spell checker, and you can see here they've left the E out of evening, and so we're going to correct that. And the easiest way to do that is just we're going to say change all, and it's going to change all of them, and say okay. Okay, step 6, you want to increase the decimal places for the values in cell E22, F22, and G22. So these totals down here, these averages, we want to change those to be have 1 decimal place instead of none. So I'm going to actually select all 3 of these cells, and they want you to use the tell me what to do box, which is up here, and I'm going to search increase, and here it says increase decimal. So you can see that's the arrow there, that's the button to increase the decimal. If you click that, you'll notice it increases at 1 time. Just for your reference, those 2 buttons, the increase and decrease, are right here under the number group on your tab. Okay, so we increase the decimal places to 1, so we're good there. Okay. Step 7, it says to click cell A1, so cell A1, and we are going to increase the decimal places for the value, or sorry, I'm looking at step 6. We're going to insert an online picture of your choice related to blood pressure. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and I'm going to say Online Pictures, and I'm going to search for blood pressure. And you've got all sorts of images. You can choose whatever you want. I like this little elf one, but we'll pick something a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this first one, and I'm going to say Insert. And you'll see it inserts it in here, makes it really, really big. We're going to resize this to something that looks presentable. So I'm going to go kind of to there, maybe a little bit bigger. It's really not going to grade that per se. Resize so that it displays in an attractive manner, and then we're going to apply the soft edges picture effect to the image and set it to 5 points. Okay, so here you've got picture styles. If you do not have this tool, this format tab, make sure that your picture is selected. Notice I have this where it says picture tools up here at the top. If my picture is not selected, that goes away. That's what Word does, is that it customizes your tabs up here based on what you're trying to do or what you have selected. You don't need to see the picture format tab if you're not on a picture that you need to format. So why display it if you don't need it? So make sure your picture is selected and go to your format. You have picture styles here, and then you have picture borders, picture effects, and picture layout. We want the picture effect. So it's the soft edges picture effect. So I'm going to go to picture effects and soft edges. And then soft edge variations, we want the 5 point. This one is the 5 point. So I'm going to click that. You really can't tell on my picture because of the way it is, but you can see right here a little bit, there's some shading there and there's some shading there. Okay. we're going to change the page margins to wide. So I'm going to go to page layout because that's all about our pages. And I'm going to go to margins, and you'll see there's an option here for wide. And you will click that. Now I'm going to deliberately make a mistake because I want to show you how to see what you've done wrong and correct it once you submit it to my IT lab. So I'm going to set that as narrow just so that you can see how to do that. Okay, and then step 9, it says insert a footer with the page number in the center of the spreadsheet footer area. Click on any cell in the worksheet when you're done, and then change the view to normal. So to do this, we're going to go to view, and we're going to go to page layout view. And when you're in page layout view, you can see headers up here, and then you can see footers down here. In this center footer, we want to add a page number. So when you click in that footer, you're going to see these header and footer tools tabs pops up, and you've got the design. And right here is page number. So we're going to click on page number, and it puts a formatter in there to determine, so that Excel can determine if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 pages, what page number to put in there. Okay, and if you click on any other cell, then you'll notice that you get a 1 there. And then you can go back to view and go back to normal view. In normal view, you're not going to see that footer, but it is still there when you print it. Once you do that, then you're going to save your file. I'll ignore that. Maybe. It's not going to let me ignore that. Fine, let me save it somewhere else. Wow, I got a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, it's going to actually let me do this. Give me just a second. Okay, so it actually let me save it once I signed in. Why it didn't take my original sign in, I don't know, but it let me do it now. Okay, so I saved the file, and I'm going to go ahead and close it. And I'm going to minimize that, and we're back here at our assignment page. If this assignment page, if you've closed it, it's fine. All you have to do is click on this and go right back to it, and it'll open right back up. So now if you want to preview the steps to see, this is that Word document that you downloaded and you could look at. If you want to look at it through here, you can. It's entirely up to you. But now we're ready to submit it. So here it says upload completed assignment. So I'm going to choose my file, and I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to go into the directory, and I'm going to select the file that I just created, and then I'm going to click upload. Once you've uploaded, you get this green check mark and everything. You're going to say submit for grading, and it says, hey, it's been submitted. You can close the assignment, and you're good to go. Okay, so now how do I check to see what kind of grade I got? And you want to view your submission. So if you hover over this guided projects here, you're going to see this down arrow. If you click that down arrow, you're going to see right here where it says view submissions. Click your view submissions, and you'll see the first time I submitted it, I got 100. Well, this time I actually deliberately made a mistake so that I could show y'all this. So I'm going to click on this submission, and here it pops up with how everything was graded. Okay, it's going to come up here and give you a red mark on what you did wrong, and you'll see how many points you earned out of how many possible points. Well, I didn't set my margins to wide. If I hit my down arrow, it's going to tell you, okay, in the sheet 1, the top margin was not set to this, and it was not set to this, it was not set to this, it was not set to this, obviously, because I didn't set it. So I'm going to go back in. Now I know what's wrong, and you can keep this window open if you want to, so that you can see everything that you did wrong. And I'm going to reopen my file. And I'm going to come back in here to page layout, and I'm going to set my margins to wide, and then I'm going to save it, exit out of it. At this point, I can close my submission folder, and then I'm going to click back here on my guided project, and I'm going to go through the submission process again. So I'm going to choose the file, open it, upload it, submit it for grading, And then I'm going to go right back in here and view my submissions. And here you'll see, okay, I've fixed it, so now I have 100 again. Now, the grading on this, so all projects, you get 5 submissions. So you get 5 chances to go in, find out what you did wrong, fix it, and submit it again. Regardless of whether or not you go up or down, the grader will always take your highest submission. So even in this case where I had a 100 and a 90, if I had stopped there, I would still get the 100 because it's going to take the highest one. Okay, so that is the basics of finding your assignment, doing the assignment, uploading the assignment, and then looking at the grades and correcting your assignment. So I also told you I was going to show you another way to look at your assignments, and that's simply you have this assignments tab. So I'm going to click on that, and you have a course calendar. And on this course calendar, you can see I don't have anything that's due today, but you'll see here you have a little alarm clock on these dates. Everything that we do is going to be due on a Sunday night, okay? The flags are assignments that are starting, and these are major assignments. So these are the exams. These are exams that are going to start on that Monday, and they'll go through to the following Sunday is when they're going to be due. Every assignment for my IT lab for this class is open the very first day of class. Every single one through the entire semester, with the exception of the major exams. So when you have an exam over Word, all of Access, all of Excel, and all of PowerPoint, those will have specific start dates and end dates. And those are the only ones. Everything else is already open, and you can do them as quickly as you want. They do all have specific due dates that you have to get them done by, but if you want to work ahead, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so I want to see what, I want to see my assignments, and I want to see what's due on the 30th. And here it's going to give you a list of everything that is due on the 30th. Okay, and you can access these assignments just like you have every other assignment. If you click on it, it's going to open up the assignment window for you to download the materials, upload, and submit for grading. And you can also access your submissions from here as well. In addition, you can go to this To-Do tab. This To-Do tab is not by, necessarily, it's not by, it's ordered by due date, but it doesn't have a calendar. It's just kind of all listed, okay? So if I continue to say show more, you're going to see what's continually due. So you can look at it this way as well. Either way, these all work exactly the same way. It's not going to show you this to-do, is not going to show you the assignments you've already done. So those projects that I've already done and submitted, and you saw those grades, they're already done. So they're not going to show up because you've done them. They're not going to be in your to-do. If you want to go back and do them again because you didn't get a good enough grade, you can come over here to completed, and it's going to show you the assignments that you've completed. Or you can, of course, go back to the course calendar and go to the due date and redo your assignments that way. Okay, so that's about it for your introductory to doing your assignments. From here, continue to do your assignments. Remember, I'm going to have a video like this. It will be shorter for every guided project for every module, and I'm working on those. So I hope you'll have a great day. I hope you learn a lot in this class, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.